Welcome back to www.learnquickbooksfree.com. In this next segment, I'm going to be covering payables, which is basically expenses or any money's going out the company. I'm going to be showing you how to set up vendors and different bank accounts. I'm going to also show you how to enter transactions, enter bills, cut checks, and pretty much everything that revolves around payables. The main two areas that you're going to be dealing with for payables is going to be under vendor and some parts of banking. Okay, vendor center is also over here in this little tab over here. So we're going to hit vendor center. And let me go ahead and minimize that so you can see vendor center. And basically, this is going to show a list of all your vendors. This is one way where you can enter your new vendor. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to hit new vendor. And we're going to call it vendor 1. Okay. And then we're going to put the company information. So this field, what you see up here, is going to be mainly for the search. Okay. So company name is going to be called vendor 1. First name could be if they got a first name, you can put it. If they don't, you can leave it blank. So we'll just go ahead and put Tom Harold. Here we go. If there's a Tom Harold's watching out there, you're the lucky winner. Okay, and then this is where we're going to hit enter and put in the address. Okay, and hit enter again. And we're going to put in the city, state, and zip. So we're going to go ahead and put Los Angeles, California, 90001. And once again, you can put whatever you'd like on this. This is what's going to show on the billing address for the vendor. And this is what could also come out on the check for the address. Okay. As you'll see over here, then we go to phone. We can put a phone number. And the more you put, the better, because as you're dealing with it, if you want to call or if you want to email, it's good to have all this information in here. I like to put this kind of stuff in here. Okay. And then you can put the fax number if you want. You can put an email address if you want. Email address is pretty good to put, because then you can go ahead and email things automatically from QuickBooks. And then print on check. And this is once again something that can be changed depending on how your vendor wants to get paid. If they want to get paid under the company name, their own personal name, whether it's abbreviated or not, so whatnot. So this is where you can choose how to have the company print out on check. Okay. Then we're going to go to additional information. So under additional info, you can put in your account number. You can switch the terms. You can either choose one of these, or you can create a new one. I'm going to show you how to create new ones later. But basically, 1% 10 net 30 means that you're getting a 1% discount if paid within 10 days, but you can pay within 30 days. 2% discount if paid within 10 days or net 30 days. Due on receipt, net 15, net 30. So let's go ahead and pick net 30 for now. Credit limit, you can go ahead and put an amount. You don't have to. But let's not go ahead and put an amount. This is just to show you that you can. Tax ID, that's another thing that you can go ahead and put your vendor's tax ID number, but it's not something that's a must when it's a vendor. Okay? And then we're going to hit OK. So there you go. We've just created our first new vendor. As you can see, you'll see the company information over here, and this is why I like this, is because as you can see with the email, it's available right over here, and a lot of different things are available for you right over here. Let's go ahead and create a second vendor, vendor 2, and then we're going to go ahead and put vendor 2, no personal name, 555 Canadian Way. And this is going to be Montreal, Quebec, whatever their zip code may be, and then you can put Canada as well. Sometimes this little pop-up screen is going to pop up, and I just hit cancel. And then a contact could be a Jim, whoever that may be. Phone number. Same thing, email address. I'm going to go to additional info. And for them, I'm going to put due on receipt. And then I'm going to hit OK. And there you go. Now I have 2 vendors in there. This is where you could also use a search feature, and once you get a big list of vendors, you can hit vendor, or since we have 2 vendors, we're going to just type in 1, and as you can see, it only brought up that one that I have the actual word 1 in there. Okay, so this is one way of setting up a vendor. I'm going to show you a different way of setting up a vendor, but before I do, let me tell you about the 2 ways you can enter your transactions. Okay, so I'm going to close this out for now, and I'm going to go back to vendor, and you could do enter bills as the main option for entering your bills that you get. Okay, the second option that you could do is actually just go straight to bank, write checks, and I'm going to explain the difference in a minute of why you would use one or the other. Okay, but for now we're going to go to vendor, and we're going to go to enter bills. So under enter vendor, under enter bills, you'll see the first thing that shows up is bill or credit. We're going to do a bill right now, but if you do get a credit memo, this is where you turn it into a credit. We're going to do bill right now. Now, if we have a third vendor that we have not entered in here, so as you see, I'm going to type in vendor. As you see, there'll be a couple of companies that pop up. But let's just say it's not any of these. You can either hit add new, or if I just keep typing in the vendor name and I hit tab, it's going to be the same thing, and it's going to ask me, do I want a quick add, setup, or cancel? A quick add, I don't recommend doing that unless it's maybe for under credit card charges, and I'm going to show you that later on. But it's not the end of the world, depending on if you got terms, you don't, or how detailed you want to be. So it's really up to you. But I'm going to just be a little bit detailed right now, and I'm going to copy this. I'm going to bring it over here. I'm going to put in the address. Here we go again. Here we go again. And this is going to be Los Angeles, California 90001. Okay. No email, no nothing else. Terms. I'm going to go over here. I like to put in terms because eventually you're going to have to put that anyways. And let's go ahead and do due on receipt again. And we're going to go ahead and hit OK. As you can see, this filled in. And now we're going to look at the date. Okay, so let's say I got this bill today, but the invoice date on it shows 5/15. So I'm going to change it to 5/15. Let's say it's $1,000. Reference number is the invoice number. So if it says invoice number 110502, whatever it may be, BAC11, this is why you'd want to enter a bill, because under entering bill, you can reference invoice numbers and a little bit more information than just writing a check. Okay, writing a check also means that you're ready to write a check today, whereas enter bills, you can choose to pay it when you want to. Okay, as you will see, the due on receipt popped up as a default, no discount rate, and now I'm just going to memo. You can put a memo if you'd want to or not. It's up to you. We're just going to write merchandise. It really doesn't matter. This is optional. And then you hit tab and you get down to account. Now under account is where I told you you're going to now have to figure out what expense or what account to put these under. Okay? If you're buying inventory, that's going to go under cost of goods sold. Okay, so any time you're going to buy something where you're reselling it, that's cost of goods sold. Okay, you can make different types of cost of goods sold and break it down as much as you want. But that's basically the type of account it would go under, cost of goods sold. If it's something that's basically an expense, such as a telephone bill or anything that's expensable, that would go under expense. Okay? And there are different types of accounts that you could put that under as well. If you're going to go ahead and buy a computer, well, that can go under assets. It's going to be most likely under other assets. So let's do that right now. Let's go ahead and pretend that we bought a computer, and we're going to go ahead and hit Add New. Computers, you can either expense it or take it to asset. The reason why you may want to throw it into an asset is because it's going to bring value to the company, showing that you actually have some assets, whereas when you're expensing it, you're basically taking the hit right there and then, and the company doesn't show that it's got any value. So this is something that if you're not too familiar with, you can ask your CPA, whoever you need to ask. But we're going to go ahead and do other type of account, and we're going to do other current asset for computers. I'm going to hit continue, and I'm going to type in computers, and I'm going to hit save and close. So as you can see now, this is under other current asset, and usually assets are, bigger, larger ticket items. So if you're buying just a hard drive for $50, that's most likely an expense. But if you're buying an actual laptop or a computer, let's say for $1,000, that's easily could be an asset. And what your CPA is going to do at the end of the year, they're going to basically go ahead and amortize it and expense a portion of it each year. Okay? So we're going to go ahead. You can put a memo if you want. You don't have to. Customer job, I'm going to show you what that's all about later on. But I'm not going to go through that right now, but I will show you what customer job would be good for. In this case, because it's a computer, I'm not going to put it under customer job, and I'm just going to go ahead and hit save and new. Okay, let's go put in a couple more bills. Okay, so and that concludes the first part of this lesson. Visit our website to see the second part of this lesson at www.learnquickbooksfree.com.